Today, we're diving into an AI that's not some flashy chatbot. Nope. This is a quiet assistant working behind the scenes. And its mission? To fix one of the most frustrating parts of pretty much everyone's life, the dreaded customer support call.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You're on hold forever, then you get transferred, and, you have to tell your whole story all over again. Well, a huge reason for that delay is the agent on the other end frantically trying to read through old notes to figure out what's going on. But what if they didn't have to? What if that catch-up could happen instantly?
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll dig into what's called the note-taking nightmare. It's a bigger deal than you think. Then we'll look at a much smarter way to summarize things in real time. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of the AI that makes it all work, see how it actually learns from the pros, and finally, check out the bottom line. Does it actually make a difference?
All right, so let's jump right into the core problem. For customer support agents, taking notes isn't just some boring chore. It's actually this massive, hidden drain on their time and, frankly, their energy. Get this. Studies show that agents spend a staggering 10% of their total case handling time just writing summary notes. I mean, think about that for a second. For every single hour they're helping customers, 6 of those minutes are just spent writing about what they just did. That time adds up, and it adds up fast. And it is not easy work. These agents are juggling conversations that jump between phone calls, chats, emails, you name it. And they have to be super accurate, right? For legal reasons, for compliance, and for when they have to hand the case off to someone else. So they're constantly context switching, talking to you, then reading old notes, then trying to write new ones. It's just a perfect recipe for burnout and, of course, inefficiency. Okay, so to tackle this problem, researchers came up with a totally new approach. They wanted to shift summarization from this thing you do after the fact, at the very end, to something that happens continuously, right there in the moment.
The official term for it is incremental summarization. And the idea is actually pretty simple, but it's super powerful. Instead of waiting till the call is over and trying to write this huge summary from memory, an AI is generating these short, concise bullet points as the conversation is happening. The notes are updated live.
And this comparison here really breaks it down. The old way, it's like trying to write a detailed report an hour after a long meeting. You're just bound to forget stuff. But the new way, it's like having a smart assistant right there with you, jotting down only the most important points as they come up. It's a game changer. It dramatically cuts down on the mental load for the agent, and naturally, it boosts accuracy. Okay, so how does this AI actually work under the hood? Well, it's a really clever two-part system, and it's designed to be two things: fast and super relevant. Let's walk through it. A new message comes in. Right away, a powerful language model, a fine-tuned mixtral AI, to be exact, whips up a potential summary note. But, and this is the crucial part, a second AI, a classifier, acts as a gatekeeper. It basically asks one question: is this information actually important? If the answer is yes, the note pops up on the agent screen. If it's just conversational fluff like, "Oh, thank you so much," it gets tossed out. Simple as that. So what exactly is that gatekeeper looking for? This lays it out perfectly. It's not just summarizing words for the sake of it. It's trained to identify the really crucial moments in the conversation. Things like the customer describing the issue, the agent offering up a solution, or a key action getting confirmed. This is what makes sure the final notes are actually useful, concise, and totally action-oriented. Now this next part is where the system goes from just being smart to being, well, pretty brilliant. You see, it doesn't just work for the agents, it actively learns from them. It's all built around this continuous feedback loop. And here is the secret sauce. The designers knew the AI wouldn't be perfect, so they built the whole system around that fact. At any time, a human agent can just jump in and edit the AI's notes. They can correct a detail, add a little context, or just rephrase something to be clearer. And what's amazing is that these edits have an immediate payoff. It's a concept called online learning. When an agent corrects a note, the AI instantly gets the message. It uses that feedback right away for the rest of that specific conversation. So it doesn't make the same mistake twice. Pretty cool, right?
But wait, it gets even better. All of those little corrections from all the agents, they get collected for something called offline learning. Then, every so often, the main AI model gets retrained using this massive collection of human edits. So a small correction made by one agent today literally helps make the AI smarter for every single agent tomorrow.
Okay, but this brings up a huge challenge, right? If you're improving a model this fast with this much data, how in the world do you check the quality of millions of summaries to see if it's actually getting better? I mean, you can't hire enough human experts to do that. It would be impossibly slow and way too expensive.
So their solution is just fascinating. They used another powerful AI, GPT-4o in this case, to act as an automated judge. And you have to see these results. The AI judge wasn't just faster, it was about 15 times faster than the human reviewers. It was also more accurate. Yeah, you heard that right. More accurate at judging if the summaries nailed the customer's issue and were actually true to the conversation. Wild.
All right, so let's talk about the bottom line. The tech is obviously clever. We've seen that. But does it actually make a difference out there in the real world? Well, the answer is a big, resounding yes.
Once it was rolled out, the system cut down agent working time by 3% overall. Now, I know 3% might not sound like a huge number, but when you're talking about this kind of scale, that efficiency gain is massive. It means agents are freed up faster, which can mean shorter wait times and quicker solutions for you and me.
And it gets even better for the really complicated cases. You know, the ones that get passed between 3, 4, maybe even more agents. For those, the time savings were way more dramatic, hitting up to 9%. This is really where the system proves its worth, because it stops each new agent from having to start all over from square one.
And what does this mean for the business? Well, all those saved minutes add up. We're talking thousands of agent hours saved every single year, which translates directly into millions of dollars in cost savings. That is serious impact.
But look, it's not just about saving a buck. It's also about making the job better for the agents themselves. Less time on boring nodes means less mental strain and more time to focus on what they're actually there to do, solve problems. And as you can see here, the people who actually use the tool, they love it. Over 95% of English-speaking agents were happy with it, and you see really high marks across other languages too.
And that brings us to a final, pretty big thought. This system is such a powerful example of AI that helps humans, that augments our skills instead of trying to replace them. It learns from real-world expert knowledge and gives back efficiency. So just imagine, what if this model was applied everywhere else? What if every single professional, doctors, lawyers, mechanics, had an AI assistant that just quietly learned from their expertise, making them better and faster at what they do? Now that is a future worth thinking about.